Hello! Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. First off, I want to start the video by saying I am so sorry. I have just gotten over a sinus infection. I'm still kind of fighting it, on a lot of medication for it, so if my voice sounds nasally, it's mainly because of that. I decided to do this video to kind of reflect on these past couple of years. About 2 years ago, close to 2 years ago, I had my first kind of like holiday season into Sephora, and we did theme days. One of the theme days was Glitter Day, and I was so hyped for it. So I decided to do this look right here. I was so hyped for it. Literally thought I did the best job in the world. Let's jump into 2 years later. Looking at it, it wasn't horrible, but I definitely feel like I could do a lot better. So I decided to recreate the look. Definitely used some of the same items, but not all. So if you want to see how I recreated this look or see if I have gotten better, keep on watching. I went ahead and did my brows. I primed my face as well. Now I'm gonna try to keep this as true as possible to the look. Again, it was a look I did 2 years ago, so I don't really specifically remember everything except for one, and that is the glitter I used, which is this guy. I still have it because it's a loose glitter that I use a lot, but a little goes a very long way. So usually I have been priming my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot. I have been trying a different technique that is working so well for me, and it is the Makeup Revolution concealers. These guys have gotten such a rage, and they're only like $7. I've actually been wearing it as a primer, not setting it, just kind of putting it on, and it has been working beautifully, and I'm so shocked for the quality. So I decided to bring you guys in closer so we can have a better look of what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Makeup Revolution concealer to go ahead and start to prime my eyes. I do add a good amount. I did use it also to carve out my brows, so definitely I like it because I can bring that nice transition between. I'm going to take an e.l.f. eyeliner brush, and I actually like this usually to carve out my brows, but I'm also liking it to kind of start to distribute product throughout my eyelid. Once it's kind of on to smooth it out, I do take my Morphe E20, which you guys know is my favorite blending brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start to pat it on the concealer because it's just gonna kind of smooth out the base also. I do buff out the harsh edges so that when I put foundation on, it's not like a really crazy harsh line. But I really like this because it dries on pretty quickly, and then just like the finish is just perfect. Usually at this point I would go into setting it with a powder, but with this concealer I haven't been doing that lately, and I'm absolutely loving the outcomes. So I'm gonna try to stay as true as I can to my original look. I think this is actually the palette I use, which is the Naked Basics palette. I believe it's one of the palettes I did get in gratis, so I believe I did use it. I'm going to actually go ahead and use these two brown shades right here just to go ahead and start my crease color. And I'm gonna take a Sephora Collection blending brush. This is one of my favorite blending brushes, and I'm gonna just start to shape out my crease. And I'm gonna just start to carve out the shape of my eyes. So I am gonna start towards the outer corner. This just kind of gets my angle going. This is one of my favorite ways to work with my eye shape because my eye shape can be a little tricky at times. So I'm just gonna bring this upwards, and as you can see, it's gonna start to kind of lift my eye up, and then that kind of starts my angle to go back and bring the eyeshadow upwards. So this is just a way that I sometimes apply my eyeshadows to start shaping out my almond eyes. So I'm just gonna go in and blend this out. With not setting the concealer, I have gotten used to understanding the base is gonna be a little more tackier than usual. So I just slowly build everything up, and then I kind of just start to pat when I'm starting to go to a new section. So I'm just gonna continue to blend out what I have and then start to bring it inwards also. I'm gonna be honest, I'm sure this is where I thought 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, this is beautifully blended, but now that I've gotten a little more experience, I am going to blend it out a little bit more. I'm gonna take my Morphe E23 brush and just go ahead and buff out those edges. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and actually define the brown shade. By the looks of the photo, I kind of stuck to just a brown, like a light brown transition, and didn't just put gold on my lid. So definitely a lot different than what I am used to doing now. So I am gonna take the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm just gonna take the shade Cypress Umber with a Morphe M535 brush, tap off the excess. This is a deeper brown, so I'm just gonna actually start to tap that on the outer corner of my eye to add a little bit of dimension. And I like to tap because you can slowly add the pigmentation, and I'm just gonna pretty much tap the excess even though I haven't put anything, just to kind of soften it, so when I go in to drag it into my crease, it's soft, it's not so harsh. So I like to build in the corner and then kind of blur it out into my crease. A little tip, the further your hand is away, the less pressure you'll apply. The closer, naturally you will apply a crazy amount of it. Once I've diffused this brown black a little bit more, I'm actually gonna go back into my Ultimate Basics, and I'm gonna take this blackish shade. It's the shade Blackout. It's kind of like a black with some gray in there. We're gonna do the same thing we did with the Cypress Umber. I'm gonna go ahead with an old Urban Decay brush. I'm gonna go back in with my Makeup Revolutions concealer in the shade C12. And then what I like to do is take the back of my hand and use it to kind of get rid of some of the product, but also help that when I go in to kind of carve out my eye shape. I'm just gonna go in and just kind of start to carve out the shape that I want. Glitter time! To apply my glitter, I have been using the NYX. Oh, she is dirty. Better. I'm gonna go on with this little angled brush. It's from Morphe. I like to take the glitter glue just on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna go in with my brush, get a nice layer without being too crazy thick, and I'm just gonna go ahead over where I carved out my cut crease. You do have to work quick, so I'm gonna jump right into glitter. I use the Blitzy Nail and Body Glitter. You got this at Sally's for like a couple of cents. I got the shade Goldilocks, so I'm gonna just go right in, and I like to tap some on the back, on the cap, and then take the same brush, dip it in there, because then you get it with some glue, tap off the excess, and you're gonna just start to press that onto the eye. Yes. Whenever I do glitter looks, I don't go and do my foundation first because you do get fallout, so be careful. And I'm gonna just go back with that kind of like grayish blackout in the Urban Decay palette, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of just like press that on top of this end part of the glitter, and I am gonna kind of bring it up a little bit higher too, just because I think this is a really warm, it's a gold glitter, and the warm brown, it looks pretty, but I think adding a little bit more depth is gonna make it better. So I'm just gonna tap a little bit of the blackout in the crease, just ever so slightly. She has arrived. I'm gonna do my other eye real quick, and I will be right back. I'm gonna go ahead with some Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in the shade, I believe it's 11.75. I'm so excited that my Sephora finally carries this foundation. I don't have the actual product itself, so this is my first time trying it. This is just a sample that I got from my job because I like to try things before I decide if I want to buy them. I'm gonna take my Yubi foundation brush. You guys have heard and seen this. I love it. It just blends everything out ever so seamlessly. So I'm done with the foundation. I'm gonna go in again with my Revolution concealer. This guy is a little too light for me, for my under eye, but I like the brightness that it brings. So I don't go too crazy. Go back with my Morphe E20 brush. I'm gonna spray it with some Mario Badescu facial spray, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start to blend this out. Again, this concealer dries down pretty quickly, so you do gotta work, honey. To contour, as usual, Fenty Matchstick in Espresso. For all over powder, I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier Candle Glow in the shade number 5. It's a lot lighter than what I am, but I like to kind of add this all over to kind of give me a little bit more of a little luminosity to the skin. Take my Amarizi highlighter with the Sephora Magnetic, oh, it's very faint, Sephora highlighting brush in there. Tap tap, and you know. So I'm gonna pop on some mascara. I'm gonna use Roller Lash by Benefit. And I'm gonna pop on some falsies and I'll be right back. So there you guys have it. I'm gonna put my reference picture up there. I think I'm doing something kind of along the lines of, definitely let me know down below what you guys think. I honestly have learned so much working here at Sephora, and honestly it has been a godsend because kind of having an idea of how to place things has definitely helped me improve and helping me gotten a lot more artistically opened, if anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment and subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see more things like this. I'm so happy to be back. I'm hoping that I'm able to post a lot more, and I'm definitely coming back stronger than ever. Bye.